Have you ever caught yourself doing something that everyone else seems to do so effortlessly, yet for you, it feels like preparing for a storm? You replay conversations before they happen. You scan every room before you relax. You apologize even when you have done nothing wrong. And somehow, no matter how much you achieve, your body never fully believes that it is finally safe. You may have wondered if you are simply anxious, too sensitive, too serious. Maybe you have even believed the people who told you that you overthink everything or make life harder than it needs to be. But what if none of that is the real story? What if these habits were never flaws to begin with? What if they were survival skills your mind quietly built long before you knew it was happening? Skills that helped you navigate an environment where safety felt uncertain, love felt conditional, or mistakes felt expensive. The strange thing about survival strategies is that they do not disappear when the danger does. They become your normal. They follow you into friendships, relationships, careers, and even the quiet moments when nothing is actually wrong. You keep protecting yourself from storms that have already passed. Today, we are going through 5 signs that suggest you were raised to survive more than to thrive. And if you recognize yourself in these, do not rush to judge what you see. You may not be looking at weakness. You may be looking at a younger version of yourself who became incredibly skilled at staying safe. Stay with me. Number 1. You feel responsible for everyone else's emotions. You walk into a room and somehow know who is upset before anyone says a word. You notice the slight change in someone's voice, the forced smile, the silence that feels heavier than usual. Before you even think about your own feelings, your attention moves toward making sure everyone else is comfortable. If someone becomes angry, you immediately wonder what you did. If someone seems disappointed, you search your memory for a mistake. You become the peacemaker, the fixer, the emotional shock absorber. Many people call this being a people pleaser. Others call it insecurity or a lack of confidence. But psychologists often describe something much deeper: emotional hypervigilance. Researchers studying childhood environments have long suggested that children raised in unpredictable homes become experts at reading emotional shifts because noticing them early helped avoid conflict or rejection. You were not born carrying everyone else's feelings. You learned that someone else's mood could become your problem. What once protected you now exhausts you. That is not weakness. That is survival wearing the mask of kindness. Number 2. Rest makes you feel guilty. Even when nothing urgent needs to be done, your mind keeps searching for another task. You finish one responsibility only to invent another. Sitting still feels strangely uncomfortable, almost as if you are breaking an invisible rule. You tell yourself you will relax after everything is finished. But somehow, everything is never finished. Other people may call you ambitious or hardworking. Some might even admire your discipline from the outside. Yet psychologists sometimes describe this pattern as conditional self-worth. According to researchers exploring achievement and childhood development, some children quietly learn that love, praise, or safety arrive only after performance. Over time, productivity stops being something you do. It becomes proof that you deserve to exist. So even on peaceful days, your nervous system keeps asking for another assignment, because being busy once meant being valuable. You are not to work. You are searching for permission to rest. That is not ambition alone. That is survival disguised as productivity. Number 3. You expect disappointment before hope. Whenever something good begins to happen, a quiet voice whispers that it probably will not last. Someone compliments you. You assume they are only being polite. A relationship starts growing. You prepare yourself for abandonment. An opportunity appears. You immediately imagine every possible way it could disappear. People often call this negativity. They tell you to think positively, to stop expecting the worst. But your mind is not trying to ruin your happiness. Psychologists sometimes refer to this protective pattern as defensive anticipation. Instead of allowing yourself to be surprised by pain, your brain rehearses it in advance. It believes disappointment hurts less when you expect it. The problem is that rehearsing pain also makes joy harder to trust. You stop celebrating. You stop believing. You stop arriving fully in beautiful moments because part of you is already preparing for the ending. Before we continue, I want to say something directly to you. Maybe someone spent years telling you that you are too much, too cautious, too emotional, too intense. But what if they were judging survival skills without ever seeing the environment that created them? You adapted, you learned, you endured. The habits you carry today may not reflect who you truly are. They may simply reflect what your younger self needed to become in order to feel safe. There is an important difference. Survival is not your identity, it is your history. And history does not have to become your future. Number 4. You apologize even when you have done nothing wrong. The word sorry leaves your mouth before you even realize it. Someone bumps into you. You apologize. You ask a simple question. You apologize for bothering them. You need help. You apologize for taking up someone's time. After a while, apologizing becomes as automatic as breathing. Many people see this as low confidence, but psychologists sometimes connect it with relational self-minimization, a pattern where making yourself smaller feels safer than risking conflict. Researchers exploring attachment have often noted that children who experienced criticism or emotional unpredictability may learn to reduce their own presence to avoid negative reactions. So you become quieter, more agreeable, less demanding, not because your needs disappeared, because expressing them once felt dangerous. Every unnecessary apology tells a story your words never speak aloud. It says, "I hope my existence is not causing trouble." That is not politeness. That is survival, trying to stay invisible. Number 5. You rarely feel completely safe, even when life is finally peaceful. Nothing is wrong. Your bills are paid. Your relationships are stable. The room is quiet. Yet your body refuses to believe it. You keep waiting for the phone call that changes everything. The argument that ruins the evening. The unexpected problem hiding just around the corner. You cannot fully relax because your nervous system still thinks calmness is only the silence before another crisis. Others may say, you worry too much, that you need to let things go. But trauma researchers often describe this as persistent threat expectancy, where the body continues scanning for danger long after the environment has changed. Your mind is not broken. It is simply following old instructions. Instructions written during seasons of your life when staying alert genuinely helped you survive. The beautiful truth is that your nervous system can learn new instructions. Slowly, patently, one safe moment at a time. That is not permanent damage. That is survival waiting to discover peace. If these 5 signs felt painfully familiar, I hope you remember one thing. Your kindness called weakness, your productivity called obsession, your caution called negativity, your apologies called insecurity, your constant alertness called anxiety. Maybe they were never defects. Maybe they were brilliant adaptations created by a younger version of you who refused to give up. You survived situations that demanded more strength than most people will ever see. And because those strengths became automatic, you started believing they were simply your personality. They are not all of who you are. They are evidence of where you have been. The most beautiful part of healing is not becoming someone new. It is finally giving yourself permission to become the person who never had the chance to exist without fear. If this message found you at exactly the right moment, I hope you remember that surviving was never your final destination. You deserve more than survival. You deserve peace. You deserve rest. You deserve a life where your nervous system no longer mistakes safety for danger. If one of these signs spoke to your heart, let us know in the comments which one felt most familiar. And if you enjoy exploring the hidden psychology behind everyday behaviors, subscribe for more videos like this.